In a world where bidding wars are becoming way more common on real estate, it's important that you act really, really fast if you want to buy a new property. It's something we dealt with one of our clients just a couple months ago. Story was over the weekend, she found a house she loved, she put an offer on it, and it was accepted pretty quickly. Now that's awesome for her, but she needed the funds within 4 or 5 days. So on Monday we met, and the strategy we decided to do was she has an investment account with us. So no, let's borrow against it, get enough money for you to buy the home or put enough down, and then we'll figure out after post-close what to do. So usually the biggest issue is when you take out a loan against your assets is getting the money. It can take a couple weeks. But we're able to fund these in a day or two. So we're able to not only get the line open, but get the money to escrow where it needs to go, all within 4 days. She closed on the property, moving in, and she's happy. Point I'm getting at is real estate's moving faster than ever. People are outbidding people left and right. You have to be flexible enough to know which tools to use and when. Because what's going to happen is she's going to sell her other house. And when she sells her house, we'll pay the line off. Or maybe we'll keep it depending on the interest rates at. So there's a few things that we have to think about. But the point of the story is she was set up in a way where this was all possible. And another thing too is the account we're borrowing against is utilizing a direct indexing strategy. So what that's doing is it's actively harvesting losses. And we've been in this for a few years now. So when it comes time to sell her other house, which has significant capital gains, we're actually going to take the losses we've been harvesting for the last 3 years and hopefully be able to offset most of those gains she's going to have there. So not only is she saving on taxes over here, she's able to buy her dream home and her money's still invested throughout this whole process. So she didn't have to liquidate an asset to buy the new asset, because liquidating the investment account could have also incurred taxes. So it's one of those situations where everything's working for her, and we're really happy that we're able to get this done. So once again, here's another success story on how to leverage your own assets to either buy real estate or whatever it may be. Yeah, so I mean the account we're borrowing against, and works really well with real estate because when you sell property, a lot of times, especially in the Northeast, there's gains, right? Properties are appreciating. So the direct indexing portfolio actively harvests losses each month we do it. So how that works, high level, we track an index of the S&P 500. We buy the individual stocks versus buying a fund. So you're going to have, 400 to 500 positions in your account. And each month we see what the losers are. We sell them, replace the position. The goal is to track the performance of the S&P, but actively harvest these losses. Essentially what the ETF and mutual fund companies are doing what's inside the fund, we're doing inside your account. So you can actually keep those tax assets for yourself. What's interesting about it is you never know when you might know, but this came out of nowhere for this client buying the property, right? So she was already set up in the direct indexing strategy because she's in a tax bracket where those capital losses make a lot of sense. We knew when she eventually sold her house, there'd be capital gains. And also, if she needs to liquidate her portfolio for whatever reason, we can use those losses to offset gains inside the stock account. Now, what's really interesting, and it's just one of those things about, we always preach flexibility, because that component was already set up, just the sheer fact that it's a brokerage account, now we can borrow against it with an SBLOC. It just so happens she found that property and we were able to act on it pretty quickly. So my answer to your question of who's it for, I think just being set up in a way where you can pull these levers and say, hey, I need this money stat. Can I borrow against my assets? Sure thing. Here you go. I think it's about being set up that way, being more organized, which is the first step in our process for our clients is let's get organized, because you never know when you're going to need to pull a lever. And if you're organized and know where things are and how they operate, you can just move that much more smoothly and quickly. We practice what we preach here, so one of the partners at Strata, same thing. Property came kind of out of nowhere, just an opportunity came up and he had his account set up. We said, no, let's just pull that lever. Let's pull down that SBLOC lever and let's fund this real estate deal and let's put the offer in and see what happens. But on top of that, I think the bigger thing is the strategy the partner was in was a direct indexing strategy for purposes of offsetting a big capital gain that he has this year. So, and that's a whole nother thing. If you know you're going to have a big capital gain in a given year, whether it's from selling a business, an investment property, or any other real estate, or even a highly appreciated stock, take that lump sum and put it into a direct indexing strategy or a direct indexing strategy with a long short component as well. Just start harvesting those losses and give yourself the full year to do so that way you can offset as much of that gain as possible. So once again, utilizing multiple strategies at once, it's something that we do relatively, well, we do it every day here, but just knowing the right levers to pull and when to pull them. Thanks for watching today's video. If you want to see exactly what we do for our clients in terms of reducing their tax bill, beefing up their investments, and planning for the future, or if you want to just book a quick telewealth call, click on the link in the description. See you on the next one.